right, we're going to go ahead and get the meeting started. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Welcome, everybody, to our meeting today. We appreciate you guys being here. The first order of business, of course, is it's going to be the minutes for the last meeting that we had. I assume everybody's had a chance to sort of review the minutes, and do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, motion is seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, we're good. Minutes are approved. Next order of business is resolution number 29151.
Yes, Commissioner, this is a recommendation for a bid award to National Streetscape for streetscape work over on Broadway Boulevard from 39th to Armour Road. You have a memo in your packet from Travis Kiefer that spells out the details. Would recommend approval. If you have any questions beyond that, Travis is here to answer those.
Good. Is there any questions, Travis, on in regards to this project?
So this is all crosswalks from 39th all the way to Armour.
Yeah,
Okay.
ADA ramps and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah? No? Okay.
Well, I noticed it.
We just, wait, come on back, Travis, come on back.
I got one. I noticed the base bid was $494, which was over the engineer's estimate. What were the other bids? How many bids were received?
I believe there were 6 bids that were received, and that was the apparent low bid. National Streetscape was the apparent low bid. And the bids range from the 494 all the way up to 1.23 million.
Great.
Great, thank you. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
The motion is seconded. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right, very good. Resolution passes. Resolution number 29152.
Yes, Commissioner, this is a resolution in support of a Tiger Grant with Transportation Investments Generating Economic Recovery. Federal funding. The project, if approved through the federal review process, would be for funding for the new proposed downtown streetcar. And you have a resolution, and accompanying that is a memo to the Secretary of Transportation, Ray LaHood.
Letter of support. I think I got a little ahead of myself. I just signed the letter of recommendation prior to that. So if you need me to take that back from Carmen, I'm happy to sort of do that. Is there a motion to approve the resolution? Very good. Is there a second?
Second.
Good. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Very good. The resolution passes. Resolution number 29153.
Yes, Commissioner, this is a cooperative agreement with Nelson Atkins for a temporary installation of a sun pavilion on the Museum South Lawn, which is Parks and Recreation property. And Jenny Jones Lacey's been working on this, and I know we have a couple guests here today also.
Great.
Yes, we do. Thank you, Mark. Like he said, there are a couple folks here from the Nelson Atkins to talk a little bit more about this project. Karen Jones and Dr. Catherine Futter. And the pavilion will be in place for 4 months. It is on park property. It's on the south lawn of the Nelson Atkins. It's a very exciting project. It corresponds with a installation they have in the block building right now. So this will be a more public presence of the whole World's Fair theme that they have going on. But to tell you a little bit more about that, I'll just turn it over to them.
Very good.
I'm Catherine Footer. I'm the Curator of Decorative Arts at the Nelson Atkins.
Great. Welcome.
And also sort of the project manager for the exhibition called Inventing the Modern World, Decorative Arts at World's Fairs between 1851 and 1939. And as part of the project, we put together a competition for a temporary pavilion, as Jennifer said, on the south lawn of the, actually it's Parks and Recreation property, to act as a symbol and part of the project that would signify innovation in the 21st century. The competition drew 15 proposals, and the competition was awarded to Generator Studio in conjunction with the artist Tim Grykowski, who's a Los Angeles artist. As Jennifer said, this will be a 4-month project and will be open during museum open hours and will be monitored by the project team of Generator Studio and Tim Grykowski. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
Where does the electricity go that you're generating?
It will go into programming within, there will be 3 shipping containers, and one of them will show what electricity is being drawn down, and will show how it will ebb and flow during when clouds pass and things like that. I think you can also power up your iPods
So it'll be a
there and iPhones.
self-contained.
Wow.
That'll probably be useful.
Yes. If you want me to, I can tell you a little bit more about the other programming that will go on.
Yes, please.
In one of them, and actually that's the one that we'll talk about the innovation of the pavilion itself with the solar panels, and the shipping containers will be actually air-conditioned by the solar power. And then the other ones will be interactive spaces for art installations, where people will have one that's going to be painted with chalkboard paint, so the community can come in and interact with the space. And then the other one, and these 2 are not air-conditioned. The other one will be an art installation sort of monitored by Tim Krakowski, and also he is going to have somebody who will sort of maintain it. But that will also be community interaction. So it's supposed to bring the community together to also show what innovation is, what World's Fairs are, which are also always about temporary pavilions.
Very good.
How long will it be up?
4 months. It will be up from April 9th, will be the opening date, and the actual exhibition opens on April 14th to the public. So the pavilion opens a little bit sooner and then closes on August 19th.
Okay.
We'll be here during the All-Star game.
That's right.
That's great.
Fantastic.
Are there any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank
Very
you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the resolution itself?
So moved.
All right, moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Very good. Moves, motion seconded. Any further discussion? Good. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution passes. Moving on, resolution number 29154.
Yes, Commissioners, this is an amendment with Millville Enterprises for grounds maintenance in Luce Park. This is an extension of a contract from last year. You have a memo from Forrest Decker that spells out the amount of money involved and the participation by MBWB firms. This is also noted as funding from private sources, the Ward family. If you have any questions, Forrest is here to answer those.
Are there any questions of Forrest in regards to this work?
Forrest, does this cover the entire maintenance of Luce Park, the whole park, or
Excuse me.
does
Oh.
this cover all of the maintenance of Luce Park, the whole park, or
Yes.
is everything?
I think Mark mentioned also this is entirely funded from the trust.
Yes.
Okay, great. Fantastic.
That's nice.
That's a nice partnership.
This is, and this will run through 2013, March, right? 2013? Very good. Okay, great. Are there any other questions?
I have one more question. Why does it run through March?
We do some litter pickups and things like that, so we always have our contracts in about March, just in time for the next mowing season to kick in. So
Okay.
basically runs from one mowing season to the beginning of
To
the
the
next.
another, yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, we
Okay.
structure
I
all of
was
our,
thinking it'd be-
we structure all of our mowing contracts to end on that, about that same time period.
Okay.
All right, is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, good. Resolution passes. Resolution number 29155.
Yes, Commissioners, Forrest, and stay up there. The next two, actually.
Yeah, let's just do the next, yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say, let's
one's
go
the
ahead
East
and do
Park,
this.
one's the West Park. This is the Boulevard of Budding Foot.
Mm-hmm.
You have a short memo from Forrest, and then the resolution that gives you the background on why we're doing this. This is something that's done this time of the year because it ties into the budget. And Sherry's also here if you have any questions about how it relates to the budget. But Forrest document lays out the cost of maintaining the Park and Boulevard system, and then delineates all the different locations on both the East and West Park.
Okay. Are there any questions of staff in regards to either one of these two resolutions? All right, hearing none, could I get a motion to approve both resolution number 29155 and 29156?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Very good. Motion seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolutions pass. Very good. Going on to resolution number 29157.
Yes, Commissioners, another one for us here on this is actually the park levy. As you can see by the resolution, this is currently 5 mills, and there again, this is part of the overall budget process, so that the real estate from the mill levy can be incorporated into the budget.
Into the budget, very good. Makes a lot of sense. Any questions of staff on this? All right, great. Could I get a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. The resolution passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving forward, resolution number 29158.
Yes, Commissioners, this is a change order with Mega Industries. There's a memo in here from Travis Kiefer. This is for work over on the Brush Creek trails. In the amount of a change order, $25,225.86 to cover some unstable soil and some subgrade stabilization. If you have any questions, Travis is here.
All right, are there any questions of Travis? All right, seeing none, is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution number 29159, another change order.
Yeah, change order D&D Custom Construction, doing some work here in Swope Park, some trails up here at the entrance that I'm sure Mrs. Kennedy is glad to see those trails being installed. And this would be a change order number 1 with D&D to do some similar work over where we're developing the dog park off of Gregory Boulevard.
Okay.
Again, Travis here if you have any questions.
Any questions of Travis? Very good. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
And is there a second?
Second.
Motion is seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Good, resolution passes. Resolution number 29160.
Yes, Commissioners, you approved a resolution.
Yep.
So it was back in was that last year, Travis?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was late last.
October.
Yeah. Can you explain this one in more detail?
Yeah,
This
please.
is a lot of information here.
Yes. Actually, I think it was last December, you had approved resolution number 29119 for the contract with Field Turf USA. And we have a cooperative agreement with them. And what that cooperative agreement spells out is basically the acceptance of the terms for this footprints grant that was received by Sporting KC. They had in turn decided to use that at our 9th and Van Brunt facilities over there. And so whenever the grant, the price was determined for the turf, originally one of the things that was left out was the performance and payment bonds. And so you'll notice that this amount that's in this resolution increases the original amount by 1.25% to cover the cost of those bonds because they're working for us, not for Sporting KC. So.
Okay. Very good. Are there any other questions of Travis? All right, hearing none, is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All right, any opposed? No. Okay. Resolution passes. Resolution number 29161.
Yes, Commissioner, this is a management agreement with Midwest Pool Management for operation of the Bay, the new aquatic park out at the Longview site off of Longview Road in Blue Ridge Boulevard. The background is spelled out, and the recommendation is in the memo from Mark Boland. And of course, Mark is here if you have any questions, and I know he worked closely with Tammy on this. And Mark, could we also introduce our guest from Midwest Pool Management?
Yes, if we could. Bert Ford, Eden Dowler are here representing Midwest Pool Management. They have worked with the Parks and Recreation Department for many, many years. As the memo indicated, an RFQ process took place, and I think we had maybe 5 vendors or 5 agencies that came in, and we vetted that process, and it was determined based on that process that Midwest Pool Management would provide us the best services that we were looking for the bay. Consequently, we recommended them to run the bay and are requesting your approval today for us to enter into the professional, specialized, or technical services contract with Midwest Pool. But I also would like to, at this point in time, really introduce Bert and Eden. I'm sure they have some good things that they may want to say or may not want to say, but if there's, yeah, may want to say.
I'm Bert Ford, and mostly, we have enjoyed a number of years working with the city of Kansas City. We're honored to be selected and want to continue that relationship for many, many years in the future. And we are a local, we have an office in Kansas City nearby, and think we can provide a very good, safe environment for your residents and their guests.
Very good, thank you. Thanks.
This looks to be a 5-year agreement, annually renewed, and this will be the first year of this particular agreement. And I would like to point out, for the benefit of Tammy Tritico, who is one of our supervisors and has worked tirelessly on bringing all of this information together, working with Midwest Pool Management, working and doing the fee structure, and really from start to actually today. And I think she did say she'll be glad when today is over with. And I don't know why, but obviously Tammy has done a wonderful job, and I wanted to publicly thank her for the work that she's put into making this a reality as well.
Very good. The, one quick question on the split of the revenue, the net revenue generated from these programs. Do we have a sense of what that is going to be in terms of the estimates that we've sort of run thus far?
That's a good question. Tammy, are there some estimates that we might be able to share?
Just preliminary sort of numbers that you guys have run.
We're looking at, well, not counting the concession, because it's a separate piece, but just for the programmatic piece, we're looking at maybe $5,000 or $6,000.
Oh, okay, very good. And then, but concession-wise, that is separate, correct?
That is separate because we've chosen to subcontract.
Correct.
They're actually going to subcontract that out, so our percentage, we'll split that with them, which is typically 5% of the net.
Of the net, okay, very good, that's helpful then. Thank you. Are there any other questions?
Yeah, this $399,000 fee, the $400,000 basically, is that just set in for this next year, or is that throughout the 5 years?
That's set for this year.
This year, and then we
We'll
renegotiate next year?
renegotiate each year thereafter.
Okay,
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
very good. Any other questions of Mark? All right, seeing none, is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
Motion seconded, any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Very good, resolution passes. On the next one, resolution number 29162.
Yes, Commissioners, there again, the Bay, aquatic facility at Longview. You have some recommendations in here for fees and charges that would, of course, go into effect this spring. And I know in our prior discussion, we made a few slight adjustments here in relationship to the starting time and how we
Yes.
deal with that card. So we'd recommend with those adjustments that you approve these fees. And again, the folks that have been working on that are the same folks that have just talked earlier on this prior item.
Yeah, very good. Are there any questions? Mark?
I have a question. I was just curious on the 48 inches, we say 48 inches or taller and less than 60 years. We're using two definitions there. Why do we use the inches instead of age on the younger?
The 48 inches is the average size of a 4-year-old. And 48 inches is what the slide manufacturer recommends, not for anybody any shorter than
So it's
that.
based on the
So it's a
slide.
safety.
Okay.
They can't use the little guys can't use the entire park, so that's why their fee is adjusted down.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Are people allowed to bring their own food into this place, or is it just you have to buy the concession stand?
I don't think we let people bring food in.
No, we typically let them bring in, they can bring in a clear bottle of water.
Okay.
They can bring their food, and there are places outside to
Right.
picnic, and some people choose to do that.
Okay. Thank you.
Great. All right. Seeing no further questions, is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, motion is seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right, very good. Resolution passes. Resolution number 29163.
Yes, Commissioners, you have a memo in your packet for Mark, and this is a variety of fees and charges, all related to, well, actually affects, I think, all 10 community centers in athletics, I believe.
Right.
And if you have questions, I'm sure Mark can answer those.
Great. Any questions of Mark in regards to the very detailed, very extensive list of fees that we have before us?
I'm sorry I didn't look over this beforehand, but can you tell me, I mean, what's gonna make news on this, and what's,
I think if there were a couple of things that make up this year's recommendations for fee changes and our adjustments, is the elimination of the fitness passes. The fitness passes versus the facility passes. That, where you see a lot of elimination, we have in the past sold quite a few less fitness passes than facility passes. And because of that, we felt that we would, in some cases, increased it by 5 or 10%, and went strictly to facility pass, which gave consumers or constituents access to the entire facility versus a limited portion of the facility. We also found that when we sold those fitness passes and the limited access that we gave them, most often we would see them in other parts of the
Right.
facility
Sure.
anyway.
They were taking advantage of it anyway. Yeah.
Taking advantage of it anyway. So that is the biggest portion of this. And I think there's a few others that, fees that were associated or passed by previous boards, but may not have been passed at the community centers that have been identified. So we wanted to make sure that those fees, even while they were previously approved, that they were approved at that particular facility. And I think finally, there were some fees that were not even listed in our fees and charges book that we wanted to get approved today from the board. And that's pretty much the general makeup. Not a lot of new fees, but some adjustments from years past.
Mark, I think, isn't it also fair to say that where you eliminated the facility or the fitness pass,
Yes,
you've not increased the facility pass in that
absolutely.
location?
In a
So
lot
if
of cases,
someone-
that has been the case.
If they have to bump up the fee, it's not, at the same time, we've also increased the entire facility pass, so try to make that a little bit easier.
Great, thanks, Jim.
Any other questions, Mark?
Is this something we look at annually?
Annually, we do review all of our fees and charges. We try to do that for a couple of different reasons. One, we want to stay competitive. Two, we want to make sure that the cost recovery rates that the board has approved for the community centers division stays in line. So we try to look at them from a couple of different perspectives.
Thank you.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve the resolution?
so moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Resolution passes. Resolution number 29164.
Yes, Commissioners, this is an amendment number 5 with Midwest Pool, kind of reinforcing that long-standing relationship that was mentioned earlier with Midwest Pool Management and Bert and her firm. This is the 5th amendment for the pools indicated in this background memo for Mark, Bud Park, Grove, Swope Park pools, and then also the small junior pools.
Okay. Any questions of Mark or Midwest Pool Management? All right, seeing none, is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
So the motion is seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Very good, resolution passes. Resolution number 29165.
Another agreement, this is amendment number 1 with Midwest Pool again for the Springs Aquatic Center. Again, same individuals in the room that can answer questions if you have them.
All right. Any questions? Yes.
I have a question in terms of our discussion about the new center. The
Bay.
The Bay, yes, I'm sorry, I need to.
That's okay.
With the springs, does it pay for itself? And I mean, I know this question may have been answered before, but just in anticipation of what we're trying to do at the Bay, does the springs pay for itself?
99.9%.
Okay.
It does.
Okay.
And I think we may have, did we exceed that? We certainly, yeah,
Mhm.
yes.
Great, all
And
right.
that's the intent, both with the Springs and with the Bay.
Just so
Gotcha.
I'm clear, are you asking, is it break even? Is that what the
Yes.
question that you started asking?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, just want to make
Yes,
sure.
yes, all right, thank you.
Okay.
The other question I have, when compared to the charge or the contract amount for the Bay and the Springs is more expensive, and I understand there are more assets at the Bay.
Yes, there are, thus for the expense.
Oh, they-
In terms of features, I
But
think,
the Bay is less expensive than the Springs, isn't it?
Yeah, by 57,000.
yes,
Yeah.
okay.
So if there are more amenities at the Bay, why that discrepancy?
I think there's some additional services, and is it mowing? There's some additional services that they'll be providing at the Bay that they do not provide at the Springs.
Great, that's all I need to know. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions? Okay. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, the motion is seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good, resolution passes. I believe the next one is rescinding resolution number 28916.
Yes, Commissioners, back in November of 2010, the board entered into a 10-year agreement with Matty Rhodes to maintain and actually have program management responsibilities for these soccer fields, with the stipulation that they got a grant from the U.S. Soccer Foundation. The foundation required a 10-year agreement to apply for the grant. Well, they didn't get the grant, so we
There's no
want to...
need for that resolution?
Exactly.
Okay, very good. All right, is there a motion to, in essence, rescind the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Very good. Motion is passed and resolution rescinded. Another rescinded resolution, number 28917.
Same situation, this happens to be over here in Swope Park. In this case, it was Brookside Soccer Club, same thing, they applied for the 10-year grant, didn't get it, and so we're asking to step back away from that agreement from what we did back in November of 2010.
Very good, okay.
Are they looking to do it again, or?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. We'll probably be coming to you in the immediate future to do a short-term agreement with both of these organizations. I know that we're working on one with Brookside Soccer for the Swope Park fields, but
Yes.
only on a one-year basis, since the grant's not even available right now. They're not applying for the grant. So just so we have an operating agreement for the upcoming season, that'll be a one-year agreement. I think we'll probably have that ready next board meeting. Is that correct, Mark?
More than likely.
And then back to Matty Road, same situation. This is the 9th and Van Brunt location we're talking about. We'll probably be coming forward with a short-term agreement with Matty Roads for that location. Now, if they want to come back and apply for the grant again, we got to kind of go back and look at the time issue. But they can operate and maintain it through a programmatic agreement without the grant on a short-term basis.
Very much, okay.
Both of these apply.
Very good. All right, is there a motion to rescind the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, very good. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution is rescinded. Director's reports.
Yes, first item is major construction, Travis.
Commissioners, I handed out a packet that looks like this on the front. And what I'd like to go over, this is a new tool available to you. The IT department and all the departments involved in capital projects have been involved in this over the past year, putting this capital project tracker system together. And the link is shown, this is the external link, this is a link available to you and to the public on the city's website through the capital projects office page on the kcmo.org webpage. And as you can see, you can just flip through this. It's just a quick how-to to get around on this document. What this does is allow the user to use various filters that are listed on the left-hand side over there. You can filter the project or search the projects by type, status, current phase, owning department, constructing department, council district, and work dates, or any combination thereof. You flip over to page 3, for example, if you wanted to look at just the parks projects that are listed on there, you click on owning department, go down to the parks bar, and click on that bar, and that would put up just the parks projects. And then we can further delineate on page 4. We just want to look at, let's say, Council District 6. You can see that pops up a list of just the projects in Council District 6. They're both spatially, via the flags on the map, and then also down below in that view box. Then by clicking on a project within that view box down below, you see where that's highlighted, Longview Aquatics. Then the map viewer will refresh itself and zone in just on that project. And so it'll get you down to about the street level right here. And then for additional information, over on the right-hand side, there are various icons listed there where you can zoom in, zoom out, and so forth. The very last one that looks like a little Excel spreadsheet is the report button over here, last one on the right-hand side. When you click on that, that pops up this project information in the view box along with the map. And so with this, we can take a look at, general information as far as start date, stop date, that sort of thing. This also helps as far as coordination of projects. If we can see with the other departments listed on here as far as coordination, if other people have projects going on in the area, we'll be aware of that as well, so that it creates a little better coordination among the departments.
Very cool.
That last page is then, if you hit the report tab, and this is a little report that pops out that is editable, so we can, whenever we go into those PIAC meetings next year and so forth, we can use this as a basis and then include things as far as what the cost of that project was and this sort of thing. We can add that to the table. So it'll be a good tool for us to use from that aspect, and also a good tool for the public as far as checking what's going on in their neighborhoods and that sort of thing.
So this is accessible to the public?
Yes,
You can
now
see all
this is a work in progress as far as the projects that are listed in here. We're going through right now, each of the departments are going through and listing or I should say cleaning up the projects that they have listed in here, filling in the blanks. In other words, there may have been blanks as far as a start date or estimated completion date or something like that. So we're going through cleaning those up. So hopefully by the end of the month, the information that's in here is as current and accurate as can be. And then as new projects come along, those get added in and old projects get taken off.
Good. Is the city, not really a question for you, but is the city marketing this so the public knows this is out there? This is pretty neat to see.
It is on it's on the capital projects page, and there is just a real small note on the kcmo.org opening page about it. As far as City Central, the page that opens up to all city employees, it's a icon loaded right on that page, and the city employees are issued a ID and a login and so forth, so that they can actually go in and edit that information, make sure it's accurate.
I'm sure we're going to highlight it somehow in our newsletters or
Well,
in some way.
Heidi probably hasn't had a chance to see too much of it, but she will. I also will mention, this is in T&I this week too, Transportation Infrastructure Committee, because I know that Capital Projects and Public Works has been working on this, so I believe either Pat Klein or Sherry McIntyre are going to discuss this at council meeting this week.
That's a slightly different, that's the e-builder
E-Builder, right.
program, so that one goes yet another step. That's a little more like a crossbreed between this and Primavera. So it's a little more extensive than what this is simply allowing someone that may not know the address of a project to use that map and be able to see the flags on the map to see what the projects are in a given area, so.
Are all city departments required to be in the system?
All departments that have capital projects, yes.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Travis.
Heidi?
Hello again.
Hello.
Just going to kind of review my report that I gave you in your packet. We are continuing on with our weekly report segments that go on Channel 2, as you know. We've done some recently on the Breakfast with the Beasts at Lakeside Nature Center, the Hattie McDaniel exhibit, which is at Bruce R. Watkins, and the Shakespeare Festival. These little segments are also uploaded to our YouTube channel and put on our Facebook page as well. So if you don't catch it on demand on the city's website or on Channel 2. You can always review the segments on our website. The Green Exposures exhibit, as you know, has been extended, will end at the end of this month. It's down at the downtown library. But if you can't get down there, if you haven't made it down there, you can enjoy all of the images that are in the exhibit in our year in review. So all 24 images that are hanging down there are featured in this publication. This year in review as well as being printed. So if you need some, I handed out a stack. If you want to take some extras for your friends and family, feel free to. It's also available as a PDF download on our website and on our Facebook page, so people have access to it that way as well. I handed out the KC Parks user survey. We do this every January. We email it out to our database. We also post it on our webpage and also on our Facebook page. We had 473 people reply this year, respond, which is pretty good. If you see last year, we had 407, so we had quite a few more people fill out the survey. Just to give you a little history or comparison, I included the figures from last year so that you can see where we've had some changes. I'll just highlight a few of them. The people who how often they're visiting has kind of stayed the same. If they're going more or less, and why they're going more or less depends upon things such as saving money, staying closer at home, being better informed is the reason why people are attending our facilities more often. They also feeling they're better maintained a little bit and trying to be healthier. One of the things that people said, one of the main reasons on kind of the responses people were able to fill in that people were attending was playing disc golf. There were a lot of people who said they were playing disc golf in our golf courses. This kind of happens every year. One of the groups will get a hold of the survey, which is fine, and forward it to their members, and then you'll see a ton. So throughout the survey, disc golf appears quite often. It's happened before at dog parks, so we're kind of used to it. But that's great. There is a strong contingent of people who love our disc golf courses and use them quite often. The top 10 kind of facilities or amenities that people visit have kind of stayed the same. Parks are always the first. Zoo was the second. Community centers jumped up quite a bit this year into third place, so that was kind of exciting to see. Exercise trails, the Starlight Theater, of course, our monuments and fountains, swimming pools and spray grounds, the World War I Museum, and then the two that made it into the top 10 this year that didn't last year were picnic shelters and golf courses. And the two that dropped off from down to 11 and 12 were Lakeside Nature Center and the Penn Valley Off-Leash Dog Park. So it kind of remains the same. People do spend quite a bit of time at our parks, our facilities when they do visit, more than 30 minutes, and quite a few of them are staying more than 2 hours. So a lot of that has to do also, if they're going to the zoo or Starlight Theater Productions or special events, they tend to spend quite a few hours there. The recreation, the things that they do when they're at the park are, of course, hiking and biking and walking and sitting, relaxing, attending a festival, like I said. Picnicking was new to the top 5 this year. Visiting an attraction and playing with the dog kind of dropped off, flip-flopped with the visiting an attraction. So things that are important to people, why they feel the benefits, well, what they feel the benefits of park and recreation are have stayed the same. Social interaction, entertainment, and physical health and activity. Something that they feel is very beneficial that was kind of added in was safety. A lot of people mentioned safety was important and a good benefit of parks and recreation. People are generally satisfied with the quality of our programming. 78.5% of them are very satisfied or satisfied. Some of the comments made there, people wanted to see a senior center, something devoted solely to seniors. Always dog parks everywhere. And more disc golf courses, of course, and better maintenance on those disc golf courses. So those are just some of the things that stuck out on the comments. Reasonableness of the fees that we charge for our programs. Very satisfied or satisfied, 68% of the people, so they feel that we're quite competitive there with our fees. This is a good one. 93.2% of the people who filled out the survey said that they would recommend a program or activity to their friends. That was presented by Parks and Recreation, so way to go there. And then I did attach the activities that people would like to see offered for use. And I apologize for the way this looks, but I was having a very difficult time exporting the information, so it's a bit of cut and pasting, but you can get the gist of what people would like to see as far as youth programming goes. Visiting the website, they're doing that, of course. They're able to find the information they're looking for most of the time, which is very good. And then Facebook, we ask how many of them like us on Facebook. And it's kind of funny when the survey goes out during that month, we do get an increase in our likes on Facebook. So obviously, we do this email or via the internet, so these people do like to receive their parks-related information on the internet, on our website. 87% of the people who filled the survey out live or work or both in Kansas City, Missouri. 60% of them are female, and over 70% of them are 40 and above who completed the survey. So that kind of gives you an overview of that. If you want more details or all the comments, it's a stack about this big. I'm happy to copy it for you. Other things we have coming up are the St. Patrick's Day parades. Please, you're all invited with your family and friends to ride on our floats, so let me or Shannon know if you'd like to do that. The 10th and the 17th are both the days of the parades. Of course, working now on the Flower Lawn and Garden Show and that activities guide, which has been going on for several months now and will hopefully wrap up here in the next month and then obviously be published and inserted into the Kansas City Star in the March 25th issue. Some of the dedications that we have going on coming up are on your board calendar. Obviously, we've kind of made some changes here for the grand opening of the Bay Water Park, so that will be reflected on your board calendar in the future. Anything else?
How do people, how have we marketed the early bird passes for the Bay? I mean, how do people know about that?
Well, now that we can do
I
it.
guess now that we're doing
Yeah.
it, how are you going to do that?
Well, it'll go on our website. It goes, all the ways that we do marketing, which
Okay.
is the free stuff on our website, on the Facebook page.
Okay.
We'll get it out to the Jackson County Advocate, who's that newspaper that we work with there in the area.
Is there an organization in that area for homeowners associations?
Yeah, there's some homeowners associations, groups that we work
That's a
with
great
as
place
well.
to get it out.
So, yeah, get it out.
Higby Mills School District, B1. We probably could put some kind of a site or sign too.
Yeah, I was gonna,
Yeah,
yeah,
just to
we
put
should be
a-
able to do that visit.
Sign up on the site.
And with gas prices going up, I think something that we absolutely have to do in our advertising for this coming year is staycations. Make Kansas City your staycation and give them 5 or 6 options for a week. And I think we have plenty of them, and I think maybe that's something we can do, is help get the Bay kicked off. Just, let people think, well, yeah, why not? So,
Yeah, very good. Thanks.
If you could produce some kind of PDF for that, I think we could email that to, I get PDFs all the time from my kids' schools about this exact same thing. We always get one for the Leawood Pool, even though we're not in
Oh, okay.
Kansas. So
Really? Interesting.
It could be something where we could just, all the little parochial schools around there. I mean, if you produced it, I could figure out a way to
Okay.
get it to them.
Yeah, that'd be terrific, because I know the PIOs in the school district, but
Yep, perfect.
great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
One other thing, Commissioners, on your, kind of the left side of your folder, there's a memo from Mark Boland regarding the Southeast Community Center Advisory Team. And clipped to the back of that is the Articles of Incorporation and bylaws for the Southeast Community Center Advisory Team. Kind of go back in a little further, you'll see the original incorporators. I see Mrs. Candy is with us today, and she is one of the original incorporators of that advisory team. And Mark's memo talks about that, and I think we're going to have more folks from that group coming up probably in one of our meetings in March. Is that correct, Mark? That's correct. And wanted to give you a little heads up on that, and we're glad to have that group come together to provide some, as you can look at their primary purpose, you can kind of see what they're going to accomplish. I know representatives from that group were up at the Southeast Center a week ago Saturday when they had the budget hearings talking about how they can help to improve the community center.
Fantastic. Great. Great work.
That completes the director's report.
Very good. I'm going to go ahead and go into the public hearing. I believe you just mentioned Ms. Kennedy. Ms. Kennedy, welcome. You're up to...
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm here really for the Southeast Community Center, although I know it's more community centers like ours, but I think it's understaffed. I don't think they have enough people up there working. And every time I go up there, I'm always seeing different people at the desk or different people over certain things. And I think it need to be staffed better. I think Brush Creek, I know they're closed like Sundays and Mondays. They close Sundays and Mondays? Okay, we're not closed yet, but if the staffing is going like it's going now, you know, I'm feeling that might be a threat coming our way. So I'm here for the interests of the community center, and I think it needs to be more staffing. So I don't know where the money's coming from, but I guess it might come from the city and the park board. But I think something needs to be done about the staffing. I know that it was a freeze with the city's budgets or a lot of things going on with the city, but I think they need to do a more better job in staffing the community centers.
We would agree.
So you would agree? So I don't know how many other community centers are understaffed like we are, but I think that is bad.
Yes, all of them.
All of them are like that?
Yes, ma'am.
So what do you do?
We're
Where are you from there now to try to staff them?
Well, I think that's a fair enough question. I will say that we are, this board and staff are working to continue to convince the council and eventually potentially even the citizens of Kansas City to continue to fully fund community centers across the city, including Southeast Community Center. And we would love for you to continue not to just advocate it here, but also with the other council members.
Okay, and I will with the council, because I feel like if whoever came up with $1.5 million to buy that parkland, vacant parkland over on Nolan Road, I think in some kind of way that money should have been distributed to some of the parks down in the inner city. Not the parks, the community center, but probably the parks too. I think it could have been better distributed. Plus, I mean, I have no problems with them having a park out there, but for them to come up with that type of money all of a sudden when everybody else and everything else is broke, I think that was kind of like understanding. I'd like to understand more about that.
Okay, very good. Well, we'd be more than happy to sort of talk to you a little bit about that. I think we had a little bit of a conversation about that last time, but happy to sort of talk about
Yeah, we
that.
had a little bit of conversation, but I still didn't get no understanding about it.
Okay, understood. Well, we'll do our best to make sure you do get an understanding of it. So.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Good seeing you. All right, is there, I know we have a calendar review, correct?
Yes, sure do. Heidi touched on a few upcoming events as we get through the month of February and March. And the other, of course, what's on this calendar, we talked earlier, was about the, of course, the budget presentation. And now we're on the 26th floor, is that correct, Carmen? Which, of course, is Thursday this week. Tomorrow, Friends of the Zoo board meeting at 4 o'clock. And I believe the Black Archives board meeting is tomorrow also. It's at 5:30, is that correct? 4:30? 4:30. And then, of course, there's a budget hearing tomorrow night over at the Park Hill Education Center. And then, as was mentioned earlier, another budget hearing this coming Saturday up at the Shore Creek Police Academy.
At this point, I believe we have representation at all of those, correct, from the board? Who's going to be on tomorrow night? I was going to plan on going to that.
I'm gonna be there.
Okay, very good. And then on the 25th at the Shoal Creek?
I'll be there.
No,
No.
I'll be the one on the 29th.
I have to be somewhere by 11, I think 11:30, but I'll try to be there with you at the Shoal Creek one. And then on the Hillcrest, you're going to be there. I think us three are going to be at that one as well. Okay, very good.
Starlight Theater board meeting, they moved their meetings now to Tuesdays. They've been doing Thursdays for years, and I know that's hopefully on McLean Bryant's calendar for the.
Did you just say yay? Very good.
And then the state conference starts up. A few of us will be at the conference, starting the 28th through the weekend. As we move into the month of March, there again, the conference continues. Municipal Art Commission on the 5th.
Yep.
Back here with the board meeting on the 6th. City of Fountains Foundation, 3:30. I believe, Jean Paul, you're attending those.
Yep. The Municipal Arts Commission.
And the Municipal Arts Commission. That groundbreaking, Heidi mentioned, of course, on the 12th. And that kind of gets us through the month of March.
Okay. Great. Thank you. All right. Is there any other business? All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you.